Welcome to my video on how to make a wax ring. I hope you find it instructive, and if you have any questions, just shoot me a message. I'm happy to answer them. Enjoy! Here's what you will need to complete this project: a bog standard soldering iron, a scalpel, a lighter, some tweezers, some blue ferris wax or green, it's totally up to you, and a cylindrical shaped device. Could be a mandrel. You could get creative, find something in your house, and if you wish, you need some gemstones. The first step is to get your blue tack and arrange your stones in your blue tack so they don't move about. They are slippery little buggers. You can try pick them up with tweezers. I think that's why I included tweezers, but good luck to you. Satan will be watching over your back. Now that you have arranged your stones and know how you'd like them to sit, you can begin building up the ring shape. Firstly, set your soldering iron to 300 degrees. Different colour waxes melt at different temperatures, but I find that 300 degrees is the best for blue. Everyone has their preference with wax as well, so over time I encourage you to try out a few different types and get a feel for them. After deciding what size you want the ring to be, however this is not essential at this stage, we can alter it later, mark that place on your cylindrical shaped device. Start by picking up little bits of wax. I've got my Frankenstein lump here that is not to be looked upon if you have a fear of holes. Actually, I have to say, if you suffer from trypophobia, this project is definitely not for you. Anywho, pick up little bits of wax and begin spreading them around the mandrel, forming a ring shape. This process does take a bit of time, so I would recommend you have some in-creation entertainment options, such as your comfort TV show where you know all the characters' voices and perhaps even the plot lines by heart, because you've got to keep your eyes on the real action at your fingertips. Else you have a very high chance of burning yourself. And yes, the hat is necessary. I live in Glasgow and it's January. So it turns out that even though I do this for a living, I have accidentally made the ring too small. So what I'm going to do to fix it is take the scalpel and cut the band open, slide it down to the appropriate section of the mandrel, and fill the gap in with more blue wax. Now that the ring has been resized to the perfect dimensions, we are taking it off of the mandrel and we're going to add blue wax to the top and the bottom. This is to even the edges and to give the ring a bit more substance. During this stage, we really want to flesh it out, make sure that the wax that we've dripped over, it hasn't got lots of cracks and crevices. The goal is to make the ring as smooth as possible or as perfect as possible, so you have the minimum amount of work to do when it is cast into silver. It's all about being smart. Work smarter, not harder, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between. Now that your ring shape is made, it is time to attach your stone so that you can form the bezel. You will see that my stone has magically changed shape and colour. I began attaching the blue sapphires, but they were impossible to see against the blue wax, so for the benefit of your learning, we are now using a lovely light coloured amethyst. The first step is to remove a bit of that wax you have so meticulously crafted, so your stone has a little bed to sit in. You don't need to be super exact, and don't dig down too far so that you end up making a hole in the ring. Now you've made your stone's bed, you've got to make him lie in it. I find the best way to do this is to use a teeny tiny, I think minuscule is the appropriate adjective, bit of blue tack to make the stone stay. Once you have it centrally aligned, or aligned however you like, just because the jewellery canon likes straight lines does not mean you have to. Remember, as Hundertwasser once said, die gerade Linie ist Gottlos. Now, begin using the soldering iron to drip the wax around the stone. This may take a few times for you to get it right, but you want to make sure that there are no holes and that there is enough wax in the bezel to fit claws once the ring is cast, or enough wax so that when it's in metal, you can fold the metal over like a traditional bezel setting. Once I've made the basic shape and put the stone in, I then need to go around it and make sure it's perfect, because the wax casting, or the metal casting, is such high fidelity that all of your details are going to come out. So you have to really go around it with a keen eye and make sure it's perfect. Like I'm noticing that this little bezel is higher on one side. So I'm just gonna shift the wax around to make it perfect, basically. When doing this bezel, you want to make sure that there's enough wax so that when it is metal, you're going to be able to push it over.
This is all day cloud busting.
That bit's a bit too wide there, isn't it? Slow and steady really does win the jewellery race. The final step in this project is to clean up your bezel. I do this by taking a scalpel blade, holding it backwards so I don't cut myself, and running it around the edge of the stone. This will give you a nice sharp edge and clean up any of the wibbly lines where the wax may have melted in a way you didn't want it to. Here is the finished ring ready for casting. All you need to do is pop out that stone, remove that little bit of blue tack, and you can send it away to the caster. It's a relatively easy process, this building up of the wax. I think the only thing you need to be cautious of is not creating too much work for yourself when the piece has been cast into metal. But like I said, any questions, get in touch. I'm happy to answer. Have a fabulous night. Bye.